Can you see this? Ma plus A becomes ma. Plus A means ma. That is, it's called Sandhi. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu sivadam. So he is not writing Vedyam vastavam atra. ऐसा नहीं लिख रहे. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu sivadam. You got my point? Some of you might have studied in the childhood. Plus A becomes ma. You know? So Hrudi, it becomes Hrudya. Can you see Hrudya? They are not writing Hrudi, Sadhya Hrudi, no, they are not reciting like that. Sadhya Hrudyavaruddya Tetra. If you recite Sanskrit every day, any mental problems, they are gone. A tongue and mind, they have a connection. So somebody is having a mental problem, make them, some tiny problems, make them recite Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. So when the tongue twist happens, it will adjust the mind's mental problems. I'm honest. So Sadhyo Hrudi Avaridya Tetra. That's not like that. Sadhyo Hrudi Avaridya Tetra, right? Sadhyo Hrudi Avaridya Tetra. How many friends? So can you see it is a Hrudya Avaridya Tetra. It is not like Sadhyo Hrudi Avaridya Tetra. Sandhi, no? So Vedyam Vastavam Atra. No, then the Vedyam Vastavam Atra. The entire Bhagavatam is like that only. Bhagavad Gita is also detailed. That is how Sanskrit works. How many of you are understanding? So my request is please read. Because of the lengthiness, I didn't speak on the first verse more than 1 day, 1 week, 2 weeks. But you can speak for 3 months actually, few months. Anyway, very important is not the purport. Somebody asked me recently, can I read the purport? Bhagavatam means we should read purport only. Tatparya, Tika. Because we cannot understand the verse. What is Acharya? Srila Prabhupada in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock. Everyone is sleeping. You would see Prabhupada translating. Prabhupada would put Bhakti Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Baldev Vidyabhushan commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, his Guru Maharaj Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all put together, Prabhupada would add his, English purports. Prabhupada one day, Bhakti, what is that? What is it? Nowadays, Afro-American, Gitanagari. Bhakti Raswami. She didn't come to my name. So Bhakti Raswami he was peeping at Prabhupada. Prabhupada was reading his books. You don't see any other reading his book. And someone said, Prabhupada, you're reading your books. He said, Prabhupada said, I didn't write them. I didn't write them. Pen moved. And so now I'm reading what I wrote. So actually, Srutigirth Prabhu said this one point. Srutigirth Prabhu was Prabhupada's servant for years. And one night, he was massaging Srila Prabhupada's feet and said, suddenly Prabhupada spoke. I told Krishna, I don't want to go to the material world. He said that time recorder was not there, I couldn't record. But Krishna said, no, you should go to the material world, you should write books, this Bhaktivedanta commentaries, and there will be law books for next 10,000 years. Those who want to be benefited, they will read your books and they'll go to come back to Godhead. They are the law books. Prabhupada said that. Krishna told Prabhupada, should go and write. So these are, what is that? Bhaktivedanta purports are very powerful. Prabhupada says, if they touch my book, what to speak of reading it? If they touch my book, they get the benefit. What to speak of reading it? That's why every day we should cultivate the habit of reading Bhagavatam. especially Prabhupada purports. So last week we started this, completely rejecting all the religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavad Puran profounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion, from for the welfare of all. Such a truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God relation. What is the need for any other scripture? As soon as one attentively, submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within the heart. Wow. Sadhyavritti avridyate kritibi susrushbi takshanat. Takshanat, at once, immediately. So, if you read Bhagavatam, Krishna will be established in your heart. Now, I read this first verse, first paragraph last time, second paragraph, and we'll read third paragraph. In Vedas, the above mentioned 4 activities are prescribed in regulative ways so that there will not be any undue competition for sense gratification. But Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental to all these sense gratificatory activities. It is purely transcendental literature which can be understood only by the pure devotees of the Lord, who are transcendental to competitive sense gratification. In the material world, there is keen competition between animal and animal, man and man, community, nation and nation. But the devotees of the Lord rise above such competitions. They do not compete with the materialists because they are on the path back to Godhead, where life is eternal and blissful. Such transcendentalists are non-envious and pure in heart. In material world, everyone is envious of everyone else. Therefore, there is competition. But the transcendental devotees of the Lord are not only free from material envy, but are well-wishers to everyone. They strive to establish a competitionless society with God in the center. The contemporary socialist conception of competitionless society is artificial because in the socialist state, there is competition for the post of dictator. But from the point of view of the Vedas, or from the point of view of common human activities, sense gratification is the basis of material life. There are 3 paths mentioned in Vedas. One involves fruitive activities to gain promotion to better planets, and then involves worshipping demigods for promotion of the planets to demigods, and another involves realizing absolute truth and his impersonal feature and becoming one with him. The impersonal aspect of absolute truth is not the highest, and above impersonal feature is Paramatma feature. Above this is the personal feature of absolute truth, Bhagavan or Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavatam gives information about the absolute truth in his personal feature. It is higher than impersonalist literatures and higher than Jnanakanda division of Vedas. It is even higher than Karmakanda division and even higher than Upasanakanda division because it recommends the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. In Karmakanda, there is competition to reach heavenly planets for better sense gratification. And there is similar competition in the Jnanakanda and Upasanakanda. Srimad Bhagavatam is superior to all of these because it aims at the supreme truth, which is the substance or the root of all categories. From Srimad Bhagavatam, one can come to know the substance as well as the categories. The substance is absolute truth, the Supreme Lord, and all emanations are relative forms of energy. The purport is very long. Can you see? Prabhupada, if you read first canto, Prabhupada put everything in the first canto. How many of you just after we started the 3rd or 4th week, you opened Bhagavatam and read Bhagavatam at least once? How many of you didn't even open Bhagavatam? Once. Ma. Okay, online. Anyone opened Bhagavatam and read after attending this class? Online.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Sonali Mataji. Sorry, we couldn't come today, little sick. But we did open the book, Prabhuji, we started reading.
Bhagavatam.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you. And I can see Alka Mataji and Anand Sagar Prabhu, Devashish, Gagan Prabhu, and Bhagyashri Mataji, Gauri Jivani Mataji, Naveen Prabhu, Rasavilasani Radha Mataji, Supriya Gupta Mataji, Usha Mataji, Vamsi Vilas Prabhu, Venkat Prabhu, Venkat Prabhu. How many of you, ever since started joining the class, opened Bhagavatam and just touched it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Even I did that.
Who is this?
Prabhuji Ronal.
Who else? Bhagyashri Mataji did it. If you want to make progress, sincere progress, without touching Prabhupada books, you cannot make progress. You will have doubts. I'm honest with you. I didn't dare to say this. It's more for those of you attending class for more than 2 years. I went to India one time. Gopinath Chandra is actually from IIT Bombay. Very wonderful Jew devotee, actually. Very younger than me. He told me he started a very intellectual program for 25 people. They're all qualified, he said. And one day I asked them, how many of you are reading Prabhupada books? He said, out of 25 people, 10 people, he said. 15 people, now we are busy. He told me after 6 months, all the 15 people dropped. They stopped coming. And only 10 people, those who studied Prabhupada books, stayed with me, he said. And if you really want to lead a pure life, forget about till what you did yesterday, that's okay, we don't care. First go to ISKCON Desertory and there is a Prabhupada folder and download his lectures and just listen. When you get up in the morning, our Prabhupada radio is sold nowadays. Just listen to the lectures. When you're driving, you can download in your cell phone. Or even if you don't need to download, just go to the cell phone and listen. And read 5 minutes. Otherwise, you're wasting very precious human life. I don't know how many of you have seen. I spoke on the first verse just one day for 1 hour. And I really wanted to speak the first verse for 15, 20 hours. Then you know what happens? Okay, the aya to aya, gaya to gaya. No? When I don't see that enthusiasm, then what I did, of course, 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita, I connected to the first verse. Then I connected that 7 sessions, who is God? Bhagavatam, first verse, was discussed by, was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, is Brahman realized. It doesn't wear clothes. Parikshit, who is going to die in 7 days. And there are thousands of sages, including Vyasdev and Narad Muni, not you and me. They're all Paramahamsas. The biggest problem for us in the material world, I'm talking to myself, envy. And second problem is lust. You don't go to you go to any other temples, they don't speak this. Trust me, I'm honest. Don't feel bad, I'm complaining. I don't want to say all these things, but they are the reality. There is a temple, I know many of you go regularly there. At least some I know. Should I tell? I don't know. I don't like to speak. I know them very well. They work very hard. People work very hard in the temple. The temple makes a lot of money. They work very hard and they have no rules. Anyone can go. Because they make so much money in the restaurant. In the evening, all people go and they drink. This has been going on for years. That is one level of spirituality. I'm not contradicting that. That's okay. I will tell you one thing. How many of you know Chinnajiyar Swami? How many of you don't know? Very accomplished man in South India, especially Andhra, where I am from. There is a city that has 4 lakh population. When he goes there, 1/4 of the city comes to attend his class. Promoted anybody in 1996. He arranged Vishnu Sahasra program in a beach. And 50,000 people attended. I was one of the 50,000 people attending that class, attending the recital. So one person, he joined full time. His mother took initiation from Chenjir, so their Sri Sampradaya. Her son joined full time in ISKCON. He did his chartered accountancy, passed. Instead of becoming a chartered accountant, he became a monk. That shook his mother. But mother said, okay, no, father was not there. Then son started telling, in ISKCON, we don't take coffee and tea. She went and asked Chenjir Swami, Guru, my son is telling no coffee and tea, but you are telling this is also Vaishnav Sampradaya, that is also Vaishnav Sampradaya. Then he said, if you tell people no coffee, no tea, they stop coming to our program, we tell that. I don't have the ability. Only one person could do, Bhaktivedanta Swami, not with Indians. With Westerners, he did it. His power is, I am not equal to him. Your son is right, I am wrong. But today, if you say, give up coffee and tea, these people will not come to our program. So that's why we allow. The only one person who could achieve not with Indians, but with Westerners is Bhaktivedanta Swami. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavism, he is Sri Sampradaya. And this brahmachari told me this. My mother told me this, quoting him. So what Prabhupada has achieved, no one has ever achieved in the history of the mankind. How many of you agree? Not that Prabhupada achieved only the drug addicts of hippies. Prabhupada went to South America. Prabhupada went to Russia. Prabhupada went to Iran. Prabhupada went to Japan. Prabhupada went to Africa. You all should know what Africa is. When they invite you for lunch, you don't know what you'll eat in the lunch. If you're not careful, sometimes you'll become their lunch. I'm serious. Prabhupada went to that type of dangerous country. So Prabhupada, they put the clothes on the, so Prabhupada told his servant, hey, I want to wear my clothes. Servant came, he put it on the rope. He went to take the clothes, no clothes. So Prabhupada, no clothes. Yesterday I dried, I washed and dried. Prabhupada said, really, don't worry. You know what I will do, Prabhupada? I said, I'll wear another clothes. Prabhupada wore his yesterday clothes. He came to the class. Then in the audience, he saw one person wearing proper shirt, another person wearing proper dhoti. And Prabhupada started giving class. One person said, and one fly landed. He said, he opened his mouth and ate. First class Prabhupada gave how you should not do that type of things. And second thing, how you should not wear your guru's clothes. That is Prabhupada's class. And they told Prabhupada you should not go to any lunch anywhere because it's deadly. You don't know what they'll feed you or what. Sometimes if you're not careful, you'll become their lunch also. That type of place, Prabhupada lifted like this. Today, in Africa, Johannesburg, big Ratha Yatras happen. Some are Afro-Americans. Bhaktivedanta Swami told, I got a call from Krishna, I'm going back to Krishna. That's how I developed faith actually. Bhaktivedanta Swami is Afro-American. So my request to you, never, if you have any doubts, that's all. Impurity in the heart, that's it. How many of you listening online? So never ended that is Bhagavatam. So two enemies on the spiritual life. One is lethargy. One shouldn't be lethargy. Laziness is deadly for spiritual life. Second thing is independence. I do whatever I want to do. You tell whatever you want to tell. I do whatever I want to do. Bhakti Swami said this. One devotee went to and told, Prabhupada scolds everyone, but Prabhupada doesn't scold me. Means what? I am perfect. If you see in the last 2-3 years, Prabhupada would scold left and right. Because how long he can say you're very good, you're very good. Because time is running out for Prabhupada. Prabhupada 79, 80-year-old. Prabhupada knew he would not stay. So Prabhupada would give left and right. Left and right means, but one person said that. Prabhupada scolded everyone, but Prabhupada didn't scold me. But he doesn't know. This person told again 80s and 90s and 2000 also he told. What is his thing? Prabhupada scolded everyone, but Prabhupada didn't scold me. Past 30 years he was telling, Prabhupada left in 1977. But before leaving, one day Prabhupada said, I can scold everyone, but not him. If I scold him, he'll leave. That's why I'm not scolding. Means what? You think you're in the sun, but your Guru knows you're in absolute darkness. How many of you are listening? So one has first quality. This is Paramahamsa Samhita, Bhagavatam. If you don't, one time, I'm honest with you, real. I used to go to Wayne State University. The person was really tough. He moved right opposite to our gemstone, he moved. Some good karma, some piety, not good, some pious, good soul, definitely. He came in a row 3 days to Mangalarti. I'm honest. He must be in the showroom leaving the shoes. The altar was closed. It happened 3 days. And I told him, Prabhu, there is some problem. You have to change. Every time he came, altar closed. No. If it is office job, it is Krishna, right? But the problem is Krishna can wait 1,000,000 lifetimes. Krishna has patience. But who will suffer? I'm honest. As I'm becoming old, I realized I have become serious. Nobody will come, nothing will come. Nobody will come, nothing will come. So first is what is that? Humility. What is that? What is that?
Lethargy.
Second quality, independence. I do whatever I want to do. No. Guru Tadviti Pranipad. Pranipad means surrender. Surrender to Guru. Then inquire. That's why Bhakti Yoga is very important. Guru is needed. Very important is not Diksha Guru, Siksha. Diksha Guru will come once a year and he'll show his pose and go. He will not chastise you. Siksha Guru. And you have to open up, and speak out. Or I have these doubts, I cannot open it up. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, Samsayatma Vinashyati. Doubting Thomas, there is no happiness in this life or next life. How long anyone can say you are very good, you are very good, very good? If you all don't feel bad, I can tell about myself. How I was. It's very painful for me to tell that. I don't know how I feel. I don't want to tell, but one day one person put me on the spot actually. I started attending this. I used to work in Singapore, and they invited me. The problem, I know Bhagavad Gita verses, so many. They don't know. I read Mahabharata. I read Bhagavatam also. Some Mayavad Bhagavatam. I don't know that. But that person told me later. So there were like 6, 7 people, only not many. There were 2 speakers. Speaker A told Speaker B, this guy should not come to our program. Me. Because he knows more than we do, and whatever is speaking is Mayavad only. I don't know that there is something called Mayavad. Really, I don't know. But another person said, no, he's chanting. And, he knows how to play kartals, all this. So let him come. This they told me later. But finally they said, to have association, we should all move together. I liked it very much because they're very strict. They are better than me. And I moved into their home. The real story, actually. And I was talking. Finally, 10 o'clock in the night, everyone started going to sleep. We were all 6 brahmacharis, literally. They were not married. But this bro was talking to me. I was telling so many things. He was listening. Finally, at a 11:45 in the midnight, we were talking actually. He's the one who was cultivating. Don't feel bad, just don't. I told him, Prabhuji, my only problem is I have ego problem, I told. I have ego problem means I want him to tell, no, you're very advanced, you have no ego. I want him to tell that. You're all listening, right? I think he waited for 6 months for this day, for this stage. He put his finger on my face and said, Prabhu, your problem is not ego, you're lusty, he said. Even if you're lusty, somebody tells you, how will you feel? This is midnight, 10 to quarter to 12. Like one flight went into my, like a dog, one arrow entered into my heart and I couldn't take it. Shaken up actually. No one has ever put me on the spot like that. 27 years ago. Because there is so much of emphasis on humility. I was already chanting 16 notes. I said, I couldn't take it, but I didn't say anything. I was like dumbfounded literally. Then few days later, we have a Sunday feast, not Sunday feast, like Bhakti Ruksha. 15 people would come. We were all 6 people in the unmarried 6 guys. We're all working in the same home only. We were cooking. And very humbly I said, Rauji, I have a very low level, I said. My level is very low, I said. And I want everyone was there. Full, all people were there, especially the room, all the brahmacharis. I told him very humbly, Prabhu, my level is very low. And I want him to tell, oh, your level is very high. You're very advanced, I want him to tell. He put his finger on my face and said, you have no level. Level ही नहीं है. You have no level. Second arrow went into through my heart. And why I'm telling, 27 years ago it happened. But I took it. One reason maybe because of that, I don't speak anything about anybody. So usually I don't put anyone on the spot. Because by humbling them, I think but he might have waited a long time. But maybe I was not changing. I was very proud that I reached 16 notes earlier. I know the slokas, I know the stories. After 20 years, I realized, and recently gave class in New York City in December. How many of you know cobbler and Brahman story? Amazing. Balgopal knows cobbler and Brahman story. Tell Balgopal. So cobbler, nobody knows cobbler. Brahman is a guru, Brahman thread, and so many people took initiation from him. Narad Muni asked Narayan, the cobbler and Brahman. Narayan said, this cobbler will come back to God at this lifetime. Then Brahman takes million lifetimes. Narad Muni was shocked. The story continues. Narayan proves how cobbler will take only one lifetime, qualified to take one lifetime, and Brahman would take million lifetimes. I'm blocking that mark. Ari, put your chair here. So whenever I told the story of a cobbler and Brahman for 22 decades, every time I was convinced I am cobbler but not Brahmin. Recently, a year ago, I realized, hey, I am not Brahman, I am not cobbler, I am a Brahmana. This realization came as a very painful realization. And whenever I would give class in our Hiranyakashipu Prahlad, I would side with Prahlad. Then I realized, no, I'm not Prahlad, I'm Hiranyakashipu. And I need a long time. So I am not what others think of me as I am. I am what I know as I am, more than that what Krishna knows, the super soul knows me as I am. That's what I am. Not others whom I cultivate. Think of me as I am not that. How many of you listening online and in person? So unless one goes through, it's a sincerity test. Krishna can wait. I'm serious actually. Krishna can wait and, I just came from Toledo actually. I was carrying prasad upstairs. Suddenly I got a phone call. Yes, so hello, I'm holding Saligram Prabhu, very sick, she had a, I think, heart attack, So can you please pray for him? I said, Amma, I'm carrying, I'll pray. And I thought, wow. So, you all know Saligram Prabhu, right? He's in ICU right now. Saligram Prabhu is the one who would cook puris for all of you. Many of you ate puris many days, Friday, Bhakti Ruksha. It was cooked by Saligram Prabhu and his wife. Today, don't take things for granted. If you take things for granted, you are the most, what is that? We do not know. We take Prabhupada for granted, Radha Gopal for granted. No. Every one of you ate the puris and sabji cooked by Saligram Prabhu and his wife. And of course, I prayed for him. So I know, I'm sorry, topic changed, but so the second thing is complacency. This much only I can. Bhagavatam creates the next verses, a revolution in your heart. You'll go back, whatever you think you are is not what you are, is all bogus actually. It will create revolution. Tadva visarga janataga viplavo asmin pratislokam abhaddhavatyapi namani anantasya yashongitani srinvantiga yanti grunanti sadhava. Bhagavatam creates revolution. You can go back to Godhead. So anyway, this verse, Dharma projita kaitapatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. This is for people who are non-envious. We are all envious. What makes us take birth after birth after birth after birth? Envy. Bhagavatam directly, Dharma, it rejects the cheating religions. Kaitava Dharma. What is Kaitava Dharma? Demoniac Dharma. Prabhupada says, I'm a Hindu. What Hindu? If you're a Hindu, you hate Muslim. If you're a Muslim, you hate Christian. If you're Christian, you hate Jews. If you're a Jew, you'll hate Hindu. So in fact, what has divided this world is so much religion actually. Religion has divided a lot. Bhagavatam rejecting all the cheating religions. Why? More or less every temple, mosque, synagogue, church, you go, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this. And whatever you're asking, give me this, is based on, I am this body, give me job. I am this body, give me spouse. I am this body, give me home. I am this body. Hey, you're not the body. You're not the body. And why Krishna is not giving? It will increase his envy on you. What you're telling? Put $20, increase my envy on you. One day I heard the first time, I never, this one word, Kaitava Dharma, I understood, I was shaken up. You know, dharma, religiosity, completely rejected. Kaitava, covered with the fruitive activities. Kaitava means demoniac, fruitive activity. Honestly speaking, anything we do is for fruitive activity. Nobody comes here for pure devotional service. If you come to this program, ISKCON offers pure bhakti. If you come here, you're a pure devotee if you come for pure bhakti. That's why you see brahmacharis here, you don't see anywhere. So we want a fruitive activity. God is an order supplier. Give me this, give me this, give me this. Means what? Increase my envy on you, increase my envy on you, increase my envy on you. Whether it is a Jew, whether it is a Christian, whether it is a Hindu, whether it is a Muslim. What you are telling? Go to temple, increase my envy on you. Will your father do that? No father will do that. Why? If you go and tell father, increase my births, no father will increase your births. Krishna will say, come back to spiritual world. Only one book that rejects the cheating diligence, Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam only speaks of pure bhakti. It doesn't speak of anything else. It took 20 years for me to understand. Wow, I came to the right place. The envy, my impurity, lust and envy, this is the medicine. One day I asked Varsana Maharaj, maybe 10, 15 years ago, Maharaj, this Srimad Bhagavatam is amazing. It offers a pure love. And in Kali Yuga, people are all demoniac, so much of greed, lust, envy, angry. Maharaj smiled and said, the medicine for lust is love. Love means service. So if you try to superimpose your Annamaya, Manomaya consciousness on Krishna's pastimes, that is the worst thing you can do to yourself. Because that's our pure prema. So, satam means devotee. Nirmatsaranam satam. Nirmatsaranam satam. Bhagavatam, if you read Bhagavatam, it will make you pure devotee. It will make you free from envy. Tapatrayan moolanam. And that is encouraging me to open a presentation. How many of you heard the word tapatraya? Huh? Does anyone know the word tapatraya? Means what? Bhageshri Matajama, what is tapatraya?
Prabhuji, threefold miseries
Means what?
means Adhyatmic, Adibhautik, and Adidevik.
Very good. So threefold miseries she knows. Tapatraya. Three. Traya means three. Tapa. Trivida tapa. Adhyatmika, Adidevika, Adibhautika miseries. Nobody can avoid this life in anyone's life. How many of you are loving the weather? Huh? Acha lag raha hai, right? Just 2 months wait. Go to India. Ooh, it's blistering hot. So Adhyatmika, Aditaivika, Atibhautika, Adhyatmika. Aditaivika means too cold, floods, too hot, volcanic eruptions, forest fires of California. They're all Ati Daivika. Atibhautika means somebody is giving you trouble. There is one person. He's unhappy with you or you're unhappy with them. Your boss, so somebody in the family. If nobody is there, mosquito or neighbor's dog barking and you cannot sleep properly. How many of you agree? There is some person who is giving you trouble. Or then ati adhyatmika. Adhyatmika means misery due to body and mind. Today many people are not coming because they are cold and sick. Soul will never become sick. Sickness is to the body. So misery due to body and mind. Mind, oh, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. So tapatrayonmulanam, if you read Bhagavatam, you will become free from threefold miseries. You will become free from threefold miseries. So 4 plus 3 is 7, no one can avoid. You know, this is what we do. We try to find happiness through these things. You know, humans also do that. 4, you know. But but 4 plus 3, what are the 3? Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibhautika miseries. And what are the 4? Anyone? Birth, old age, disease, and death. These 7 no one can avoid. Anyway, I am actually looking for a presentation, but no need. Everyone, what are the 4 plus 3, 7? What are the 4 things? No, 4 is birth, old age, disease, and death. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. No one can avoid. Simple one question. Where were you 2 years before you were born? Emma? 2 years before you were born, where were you? All of you, where were you in 1950? You were there, but in different body. Next question you should ask when you go home. Where you will be 2080? Will you be there in 2080? No, after 60 years. Okay. Malgopal is telling I'll be there. No, you'll be there. So what are the threefold miseries? Adhyatmika, Adidevika, Adibhautika. Tapatrayan Mulanam. Bhagavatam will Tapatrayan Mulanam. It will remove for you. Means we will be liberated. Now dharma. What are dharma? Dharma artha kama moksha. What is that? Dharma artha kama moksha. How many of you heard these 3 words, 4 words? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They are called purusharthas. What are they called? Dharma means religiosity. Means once in a while go to temple. Haribol, my lord, how are you? Give this money. You be happy, let me be happy. Okay, bye bye next week. The religiosity. Ardha. Goal of life is to make money. One person told me in my childhood. You know what he said? Life means without even looking back, you have to keep on earning money and accumulate only. Then what? And give it to children and die. Hare Krishna. That is Ardha. Ardha means money making. Kama. Kama means sense enjoyment. And in South India, there is a famous thing. Unless you are a lusty, you kami gani moksha kami adu. Unless you become lusty, you cannot become you liberated. Some, I don't know where somebody came across, cheating actually. Anyway, third one is kama. One day Lakshman went, Ram told, hey, the rainy season is over. Sharadrutu started, so that the fall started. We don't see Sugriva at all. We don't see Sugriva at all. Go and tell Lakshman that the way through which Vali was sent, that way is not closed yet. Means, if you are not careful, you can also be sent through that way. Usually Lakshman is very fiery man. When Ram said, so you want me to finish it? Ram said, no, don't worry. He's the only support we have. Just threaten him. See, can you believe the power of sense enjoyment? He's not a friend of you and me. Sugriva is not a friend of you and me. He's a friend of who? Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ram. With one arrow, Ram settled the scores and gave Sugriva, the kingdom, his wife, and so now what is that? Vali's wife, the entire everything. So it became too much for Sugriva to handle. It became too much for Sugriva to handle. And Sugriva is enjoying day and night because he lost his wife for so many years, separation. Now he got everything. And when king is enjoying, servants, what they will do? They're all monkeys. They're also enjoying. Daytime, Lakshman went and he pulled the string like this. And he pulled the string made a loud sound. And Sugriva got up. If I go before him, he'll kill me now. So what he did, Tara, you go first. Tara came with improper clothing. She purposefully. And then immediately Lakshman said, I cannot do. Then Tara said, what can we do? For so many years he was away from his wife, and so please forgive him. And he said, hey, this is not the time. There is a time for karma. This is daytime. So the point is, even the associate of Ram has become bewildered. Who are we? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda told, my lord, you want to go alone South India? No. Go. Please take. I will come. Lord Chaitanya said, no. We will all come. So finally what they did, all right, you take Krishna Das. He's a very nice cultured Brahmana, you take him. Lord Chaitanya said, fine. You all should know Lord Chaitanya is very strict. Strict means that sannyasi. So, my lord, at least you need somebody to hold your kamandalu, you need your clothes, and you chant with fingers. Lord Chaitanya also would Sankhya, Puraka, Namagan, Nadipi. He would chant with one finger, he would count, chant his rounds, and he would count. That's Lord Chaitanya would always chant like this. So someone needs, so Kal Krishna Das from when he would carry his clothes. In Kerala, there is a nomadic group called Bhattataris. They are very tantric. What they would do, they would also come to the village, and by this, they would find some women in that village, and he would give them all the intoxicating substances. He would make the ladies join their group, and then they would release the ladies, and the ladies would go and entice the men, and they would bring the men into their group. Anybody comes inside, they cannot go out. They'll kill them. Or they should join the group. That is how they would increase. They are like a deadly tribe. So Lord Chaitanya was, so this Kal Krishna was, for some moment, Lord Chaitanya went somewhere and Kal Krishna was there, and this lady came. Can you believe this is Lord Chaitanya's associate? Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He would give love of God to everyone. Kal Krishna was taken away. Why that lady took him? This Kal Krishna went with him, with her. And then I joined the group, one more person, because either they'll kill you, or with their whatever, if you eat their food, then you'll become part of their group. Lord Chaitanya came back. Lord Chaitanya understood, they took him. Lord Chaitanya straight went to their camp and said, Lord Chaitanya is the one who wrote Sikshashtakam. What is the third verse of Sikshashtakam? Should learn Sikshashtakam. Huh? That is fourth. Pranamapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sashnana Manina Mardena Kirtani Asdahari. They're not humbler than blade of grass. Lord Chaitanya knowing very well they are very cruel, but he folded his hands. My dear friends, sirs, this is my servant, so this is my assistant. You should not have brought him. Please let him go. give my assistant back, because he brought from his family, Lord Chaitanya has the responsibility to bring this guy and hand him over back to the devotees group in Bengal. They all laughed. In this is a one way. You come and said, they thought, hey, you got the assistant now. Not only assistant, we got you, the sannyasi, first time. You have to stay here. Or prepare to die. Lord Chaitanya said, no, not like that. Please, you, my assistant, will go. They laughed. There is no question of leaving. Either you stay or you prepare to die. Then Lord Chaitanya said, no, we will not join your group. Then, because if you go outside, you will tell the whole world what we are. That is deadly. Then they all came with weapons. Lord Chaitanya said like this. Then just fold his hands. So immediately what happened? The weapons got the life. When they all came to kill Lord Chaitanya just folded his hands. Because they were offensive to the Supreme Lord, the weapons they got the life. They were bringing the swords like this. The sword turned back and started going behind. And the swords on their own reversed and they started cutting off the limbs of everyone. They couldn't believe it, what's happening. So the swords, all the weapons got life, and they were cutting off the limbs of the guys who came in. They couldn't believe it, what's happening. In that chaos, Lord Chaitanya went and he grabbed his hair. Chalo, we'll go. When he grabbed his light, this guy woke up. Woof, what is it I'm doing? We'll go home. Lord Chaitanya took him out. Same thing happened. Kapila Muni, this Maharaj Sagar, he did yajna and he released the horse. When he released the horse, Indra stole that horse. This is in Bhagavatham. Indra stole that horse. What Indra did, he took the horse into the ground, Patala, the subterranean, lower regions of the earth. There, Kapila Muni, third canto is Kapila Muni Devoti. Kapila Muni was doing this tapasya in his ashram. So what Indra did, he parked the horse in his ashram and Indra disappeared. But without a horse, you cannot do yajna, Ashwamedh yajna. So Maharaj Sagar, what he did? He said, go and search for the horse. They searched the entire earth, they couldn't find horse. Then they came inside the earth. They started searching everywhere. Finally, they traced the horse. Where is the horse? In the Kapila Muni ashram. And there are 60,000 sons of Maharaj Sagar. And said, hey, you're the one. Thief. Now you stole the horse and now you're doing this. Give up this hypocrisy. And because they were offensive, Kapil Muni didn't say anything. They came with weapons. Why I'm correlating Lord Chaitanya and Bhattacharya and this one, Bhattacharya and this one? Because they were offensive to Kapil Muni. In your body, there is a fiery element. Immediately, the fiery element was invoked. They were all burnt. And in a few minutes, there were a pile of ashes everywhere, 60,000 people. Why? They were offensive to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kapil Muni is also Krishna's incarnation. Supreme Personality of Godhead. With avatar. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. So the point is that don't underestimate the power of kama. I spoke about dharma, I spoke about the artha, I spoke about kama. And what is the last one? Moksha. If you are frustrated, people throughout their life, they work for money. There's some sense enjoyment. Once in a while, if not this God, if that God, this God. And in the end, I want to become one with God, impersonal liberation. Impersonal liberation. Bhagavatam rejects all these four. That's why it took time to tell. Dharma projit Gaitavadar Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam. What is becoming impersonal? Becoming one with God, impersonal liberation? My Lord, I want to become one with you so that I can enjoy all your facilities. Many times I tell this to people actually. Hanuman never said this to Ram. Or Hanuman never worked with Ram, never worked for Ram. After one day, Hanuman said, "My lord, I built the bridge for you. I fought the war for you. Now I am liberated. You and me same. Now I'll enjoy Sita means I'll become one with you means what? I'll enjoy Sita means what? There's a mentality of not Hanuman, mentality of Ravana, becoming one with the God. How many of you heard in India there is something called Brahmalin ho gaya wo? Anyone heard this word? India common word. Nowadays everyone has on YouTube and these things are gone in the background. But North India or South India same word. अरे वो Brahmalin हो गया means भगवान हो गया वो. I told them Ramayana happened million years ago. Still Ram is Ram, Hanuman is Hanuman. Hanuman Brahmalin कभी हुआ नहीं. How many of you understanding? So in liberated state, gopis are all liberated only. Hanuman is liberated only in Dasharas. Hanuman is Hanuman, Ram is Ram. In the case of gopis, gopis are gopis, Krishna is Krishna. But what is that union of love only? There is no one, that is oneness. Gopis have retained their identity, Krishna's identity is there, but they are serving Krishna. How many have understood? That is what the first line is all about. Second line, second verse of Bhagavatam is rejecting. That's what you should understand. I am not wasting your time. One advantage is that today nobody knows anything. If you don't know anything, all right, accept it and just go forward. That is very good actually. One time, one person, one Mayavadi, went to one guru, not Mayavadi, just some philosophy. Said, I want to learn from you. Guru said, all right. I want to know what you know. He started speaking. Guru tried to correct him. Again, he kept on speaking. Guru didn't speak. Then Guru said, do you want to drink some buttermilk? He said, no, I want water is enough. Good. He put the glass and started pouring the water. He poured. The water is full. Started overflowing. Sir, देखो, पानी बाहर जा रहे हैं. It's overflowing. Guru said, that's what you are. That's what? By the time you came to me, you're already full. What I have to do? I have to throw this and empty it, bring it zero. Then I can fill in. But you're not giving me time. How many of you are understanding? What's the problem with today? My time 30 years ago, so many junk books. Today, videos, movies, all junk, literally junk. Because they want to make money. They just want to make money, that's it. And they show something, khichdi, truly khichdi. And when you come here, we cannot work one-to-one. So we don't know what happens. Or if you continue that, then here you are taking the pure bhakti, there you are taking poison. Pure bhakti, poison, pure bhakti, poison. If the poison is more because you are coming only 1 hour here, then where is the room for the poison is becoming more? Then so much of doubt. I also know we are fighting a losing battle, but at least I'll do for myself. But one person, one person, I know one person will come. One person will stand. That's good. Papa said we don't want 10 moons. We want so we don't want 10 stars. We want 1 moon. So what is that? Dharmadat kama moksha. Bhagavatam rejects. What is the Pancham Purushartha? Bhakti. What is Bhakti? Bhakti is for Bhagavan. Who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan Ishvara Hari. Krishna is a Bhagavan. First verse it established. Last week, first week I spoke on this. But one line I said, nobody asked any question. There is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. For decades I thought, why Vyasadeva didn't say Om Namo Krishnaya? Because they're all Mayavadis, Karma Kandis, they're Ashtanga Yogis, they're pure devotees. They're all groups are there, 60,000 people, sages, different sages. Vyasadeva, to put a full stop, Vasudeva means that person who is everywhere. Means a God is everywhere, but he is also person. If you understand God is a person, you will come to bhakti. I mean, if you understanding. Vyasadeva, sorry, not Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva wrote, and Sukadeva Goswami is telling, Vasudeva means that personality who is all pervasive still is a person. That is Vasudeva, which is only Krishna's expansion. But this Vasudeva, source of Vasudeva Krishna, there's a specialized PhD those who want to do Vraj Bhakti. Hey, go to 10th canto. If you do PhD, if you study, then special bhakti, where you don't take God as God, but you'll take God as a very intimate friend, intimate lover, intimate son. Then you have that ability, 10th canto. But for that, you need to be fully purified. Fully purified. It needs a qualification. To acquire that qualification, you have to go through 9 cantos. Then the 10th canto. 10th canto, before that Ambrish Maharaj, Maharaj Sibi, and Prahlad in 7th canto. 4th canto, Dhruva. What a personalities. Said, yes. One lecture I heard. If you follow 4 regular principles, that will give you qualification to read Bhagavatam. 4 regular principles not ultimate. Why we don't tell the day one, then you'll stop coming. But after some time, you'll follow 4 principles. Amazing. Then when you get to read Bhagavatam, you have to start giving up other things. When you go 10th canto, then by this time you would have given up all this junk nonsense. Greed, envy, anger, pride. Then you will get to qualification to read Bhagavatam. That is how you will be liberated. That's how you will go back to Godhead. This is not like Christianity. Chant 16 and follow 4 principles. You'll go back to no. It's a process. It's a serious process. That day we understood, we all gave up everything and we became monks and we trained. Time is running out here. I'm not there yet. It's working. It's not there yet. But when you become serious, you'll go back to it. For sure. I have so many stories of ISKCON devotees. One day before, I got the call. This is what I'm going to become. This is my form. This is my name. This is my service. Everything. One day, Bhakti Vishnu Madhav Maharaj came. He used to stay with us. 1 month ago, he passed away. He told 4 or 5 stories. I was in Urine all that time. Very advanced devotee. But 1 month ago, he passed away. Guru. So problem is when you see a person, to know that person, you should be at that level. Sukadeva Goswami, 16-year-old boy, beautiful, but he's not wearing clothes. So ladies and women and children, they were throwing stones at him. They were throwing stones, hey, Sukadeva Goswami. Suddenly he came into the audience. 60,000 sages, not thousands of sages, got up, stood up in respect. Then the ladies and gentlemen, we are thinking he's a madman. He is not a madman. Narada Muni, we can never see he's standing there for him. Narada Muni is standing. Vyasadeva is standing. All the Saptarishis are standing for him. Then they became a little scared. Otherwise, what we do, we bring that person to our level. When Krishna comes, we know. What you know? We don't know Krishna. To understand Krishna, absolute truth. This is Paramahansa Samhita, Nirmatsarana. Unless you are fully purified of envy, you cannot understand Krishna. But if Guru's Kripa, Prabhupada Kripa is there, they didn't understand. So they do what you are told to do. If you don't do what you are told to do, 1 week you will come, another week you won't come. I'm honest with you, the problem is myself. I don't have purity. That's what many times I told myself. What can we do? Did a lot of mistakes before coming to Krishna. But that one person will be there, because of this much endeavor. But I'm honest, even though I'm fallen, if you become serious today, you'll go back to God at this lifetime. I'm honest. So you'll become free. Your life, how many of you felt my life became better after coming to Krishna consciousness. Then become more serious. But let me tell you, Maya will keep on trying you to take away. Maya will never leave. Maya will never leave you. That is her duty. There is one organization in India. They worship Durga. I was a part of that organization actually. They would worship Durga and they would pray, Durga, remove that curtain of Maya. I can see the absolute truth. I have a question for you. You know, you go to an examination hall, the invigilator, you'll tell the invigilator, I'll pay you $100. Give me that book and put it next to my side. I'll pay you money. What will the invigilator do? He'll book you. He'll debar you. Because that is invigilator duty. You know, who can do that for you? Vice Chancellor can do that. Not the. So you cannot bribe Maya. If you want, I can tell the name of that organization actually. They pray to that Durga. Please remove the curtain. Maya, she will never do. This organization is also famous in India. She will never do it for you. Huh? What is it called? Anyone knows? You know? So they say you can worship anybody. At the end result is same. That is exactly opposite to Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says. And they say, you know, I was part of that for some time. And they pray to Durga and remove the curtain. They say, if you remove the curtain, if you pray to Durga, she will remove the curtain. So sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka chai veshya bhunani vivarti Durga icchan rupam asya govindamadi premtam. Durga will never remove. But she will give you, okay, take the job, stay here. Take the job, stay here. Because that is her duty. What is her duty? Keep on taking you away from Krishna. So she will not do that job for you. But who can do that for you? Krishna can do that for you. Actually, I spoke on the first line today. I'm ending it now. Thank you very much. Any question or comment? You know, Bhagavatam is, Vyasadeva wrote Bhagavatam. If you follow, I encourage you to read the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended. You know, so I can speak so on this verse for a very long time. Prabhupada speaks in this verse. Capitalism he addresses, socialism of Russia he addresses. He says both are wrong. You know, so anyway, read the introduction. We'll continue on this verse next week. You know, today I told how asking God, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, will increase your envy, I said. It's a revelation actually. One day I heard a lecture. A revelation means I said, wow, I heard the lecture from him, Mahabhava devotee. When I heard from him, I thought I never thought like this. How many of you agree? If you keep on praying, my God, give me this, give me this, give me this, he keeps on giving you, how it will increase your envy? If you get what you want, you will become loose in your bhakti. If neighbors get what you want, you will become envious of them. If you don't get what you want, you'll become atheistic. In other words, if you come to temple for this thing, this thing, this thing, that will not give you pure bhakti. But with that being said, I'll tell you one line. I have to tell. One day one girl came to me and I told the same thing. This girl said, just married, this is like 20 years ago. He is the father. Whom can we tell our problems? She asked. Ooh, that is good. If you consider Krishna as your father and tell all the problems, there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. And for example, you're doing bhakti. For example, somebody lost the job. My Lord, I lost my job. I'm finding it difficult to do bhakti, but please help me. Because you're the only my shelter. That though it's not pure bhakti, but because you're asking to continue your bhakti, that is okay. But the simple thing is, but Krishna knows everything, right? You don't need to ask, right? But what can we do? No, we are not on that pure bhakti level. So, my Lord, but if you consider my shelter is only Krishna, my Lord, I'm sorry, I should not ask, but the people are telling it will increase my envy, but you are my only shelter. I'm struggling because I have problem. I'm unable to continue my bhakti nicely. I'm not on that level. Please help me. There is nothing wrong asking like that. How many of you understood? Though it is not pure bhakti, but because you're asking this to help in your bhakti, that is okay. That being said, I'll end it. Any question or comment? Anyone has any question or comment?
Hare
Online?
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I always have these questions. I might have asked a couple of times. Is going back to Godhead also is a liberation and it is not good? Or
Nice question. Thank you very much. Amma, going back to God, it is a very perfect desire. Like for example, your home is there, that's where you came. For example, we are not Buddhists. We cannot become desireless, nirvana. I want to listen Bhagavatham class. I want to go to temple and pray. That's a perfect desire. I want to eat Krishna Prasad. Perfect desire. Likewise, I want to go back to God. It is a perfect desire. Because that's where you came. I have a question for you. Is child thinking of going back to parents is wrong desire?
no,
Huh?
no, Prabhuji.
It's a perfect desire. It's a right desire. That being said, there is one more line I have to add. But some people, what Krishna wants? Krishna wants everyone to come back to Godhead. Who will do that? Preacher does it. Acharyas do that. So people, Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, Ramanuja, Madhva, Nimbarka, what they do? They do the preaching work of Krishna. They go door to door and they tell about Krishna and say, hey, come back home. So they do the preaching. That's what Prahlad says. Narasimha Swami tells Prahlad, come back home. Prahlad says, my Lord, I'll not come back. When my brothers and sisters are struggling in the cycle of birth and death, I don't want to come back. I'll stay here and preach. That's why Lord Chaitanya says, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahitkitve. Lord Chaitanya is not even asking liberation. What is telling? Birth after birth, I'll come here in the mood of a devotee. What I will do? I'll do the preaching. That is next level. I'm enough for understanding. On one hand, going back to God, it is a perfect desire. I don't have strength, This is not a place you need association. We are fighting, you are like staying here and practicing bhakti is like streaming across the current. I'm going to agree. Always some problem. There is some problem, right? That problem, this problem, if not health problem, if not somebody neighbor or the, what is that, government policy changed, that problem, this problem, old age problem, this mental problem. So that's why Prabhupada started a magazine, Back to Godhead. Hey, wapas aa jao, come back. It's a very bona fide desire. First thing you should know your level. What's my level? Prabhupada said, material world is not a place for gentlemen. So I want to go back to Godhead. It's a perfect desire. How many of you understood? But some people, what they do? My Lord, who will do your job? I will do it. So what I will do? I will go through suffering. Birth out birth I'll come. And आपके लिए मैं प्रचार करूंगा. That is even higher. But it is your choice. You want to come here, birth after birth, or you want to go back. It's up to you. Both are bona fide. How many of you understood? Amma, you got my point?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Purusha, is that moksha refers to only Sahajya Mukti or all of them, all of the liberation?
Honestly speaking, more or less it is mentioned in terms of Sahajya Mukti.
Okay.
Because Bhagavatam rejects that. But let me tell you, it's not specified like that, it's only Sahajya Mukti. But it's a technical discussion, you know. Some people definitely can take it as liberation means, according to Bhagavatam, muktir hetva anyata rupam swarupena vyavastiti, being situated in your swarupa. So some people may be there, you know, they want to go back to Godhead to serve Krishna, not to serve Vishnu in Vaikuntha. That is perfect. Thinking like that. But usually, you know, if you read certain types of books, that's what it meant. But if you read Vaishnava books like Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all these things, then you will understand. You understanding?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Any other question or comment? But mukti means 5 muktis, no doubt they are there. Samipya, Saurupya, Salokya, Sarishti, Sahaja. But the 5th one, Sahaja, devotees, Vaishnavas don't accept it because you're losing. There is when you merge in Brahman, there is no service. That's why Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Kaivalya Narakayate. When there is no service, Hanuman did not want to become one with Ram. Nobody will know. You don't see in Bhagavatam, Prahlad doesn't want to. Dhruva doesn't want to. Nobody. Because there is no service. That's why we reject that. Thank you very much.
For one question,
Ah,
you mentioned that Bhagavatam removes these threefold miseries, uproots threefold miseries. But we read Bhagavatam, but still we are surrounded by threefold miseries, right, bro? So how do we understand that part? That
Eventually. Means what happens when you, so there is actually now in the same chapter, there is a sequence. What happens? Nashtapraya Shabadresh Nityam Bhavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavatnashtaki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kamalopadesya Cheteterana Vidam Stitam Satya Prasidati. If you serve devotees and serve Srimad Bhagavatam by reading it, you know, you will get Nishta. Then what happens, sir? The 3 modes, Rajastamo, they will go away. Sthitam Satya Prasidati, eventually will come to mode of goodness. Then even Prasanna Manasa Bhagat Bhakti Yogita, Bhagat Tattva Jnana Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Then you become happy when you come to mode of goodness. Then what happens? Vidyate Hruday Grande Chidyante Sarasensya. Kshyante Chashi Karmana Drashta Yavat Nyatsar. So it's a progression, bro, step by step. So you can be doing it. It's not a one-time thing. It's a course. It's a college, university. You know, undergrad is Bhagavad Gita, post-graduation is Bhagavatam, PhD is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what happens is, one day with that knot, what is that knot? When you come to goodness, sattva, you continue bhakti. Then what happens? You continue Bhagavatam, doing service to devotees and reading Bhagavatam. Then what happens? Vidyate Hruday, that knot is, what is that rope that binds soul to the body? Ego. That is cut. When that is cut, you see yourself, self-realization happens. Drishtava evatmanishware. You see yourself as a soul, you see Krishna as your master. There's a sequence that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. That happens eventually. Continue doing it. Understanding?
Thank you.
Like, you know, day one when you join medicine, you're not a doctor, right? You have to study pre-med 4 years, then 4 years medicine, then 4 years residency, 3-4 years, then fellowship, then 1 year surgery, then 13 years later you'll become doctor. So this is also course, it takes little time. Okay?
Thank you, bro.
So we'll end it here. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarabhyasya kripa sindhabhya vichitritanam bhavam vishnu. I'm ending now. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.